Welcome into Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where the Pacers are now just one win away from the NBA Finals. 130-121, the final over the Knicks in Game 4, a game that was led by Tyrese Haliburton. 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds, 4 steals, but 0 turnovers. He's the first player to ever have a 30-15-10 stat line with no turnovers in a playoff game.
Very, very tough game, very competitive game. I mean, some of the shot making in this series has been really beyond belief. Both teams, I mean, some of the shots Anunoby's hit, and one of the setback on the left wing tonight was just unbelievable shot, you know. And so at these high levels, these guys do amazing things. And so when you can get a stop and a rebound, it almost feels like an anomaly sometimes. But proud of Ben Mathurin. The guy has stayed ready. Came in yesterday, worked, got shooting in, got some simulated game shots. Have just been encouraging him to stay ready. That we need him, and that the playoffs they're just a different animal. And so tonight he was great. Really gave us a huge lift and some really timely buckets. So really proud of him. I know Ty did some historic stat stuff tonight. That's great, but you know, it's tough talking about stats when it's such a team thing right now. So happy for him. You know, it'll get celebrated on all the networks and stuff like that. But in our world right now, it's day 7 of 13, and tomorrow's day 8. And we've got to just keep our eye on the ball and keep focusing on each day.
Rick, Tyrese put a lot of the team's offensive struggles on Game 3 on himself in that second half. What did you think of his changed approach today, and how did that help both him and everybody?
Well, he was the leader tonight. And, you know, we had, some difficult film stuff yesterday, not fun. But our guys, they're authentic guys, and they want authenticity and the truth. And, sometimes the truth is pretty painful. But we allowed things to go a different direction than they needed to go in Game 3. And, tonight we were determined to turn it back our direction. And that said, it was still, when it's 7 points with a minute and a half to go, you can call it a one-possession game this time of year. It's just there's too much amazing shot making and too much variance in the game. So we did some things to get some key stops. We're still pretty young, so we're learning by some of the experience that we're getting right now. But we've got to stay in the moment. We've got to keep our eye on the ball and, go day to day and moment to moment here.
You've noted before about some of your players that you can notice when their disposition is different on a game day. After what Benedict Mathurin did yesterday, did you notice anything different about him going into this one?
He's always ready to play, to me, and he watched last year when he was injured, how the whole thing went. We didn't have the variance in our lineup last year that we have this year. We have, we're playing 12 guys. Walker hasn't played in the series yet. But we're playing 11 other guys, and it would be 12. And so if he was playing some, and he may still. And, with the Towns matchup being so difficult, Miles fouled out tonight. Walker has got to stay ready. And he was there yesterday, too, along with Furphy. Those 3 guys worked together, keeping themselves ready for whatever was needed. So anyway, you can't exhale at all in the playoffs.
I want to go back to Haliburton, obviously, on top of what he does on the offensive end in terms of pushing tempo, 12 defensive rebounds, 4 steals. What would you like on top of just his ability just to get his hands on the ball and start things that way, basically, by causing turnovers and grabbing some rebounds when that's the thing you really needed?
Yeah, and he's doing this within the system. It's there isn't a lot of freelance stuff where, they're just kind of outside the box gambles. He's doing it within the system, and that's real growth. And look, he's had a lot of things happen this year. The year's been filled with ups and downs. He's remained remarkably resilient and steadfast in his belief in what we're doing and who he is. And so we need him to continue to lead us. And Siakam was great again tonight too. And I didn't even look at the stat sheet on him, but he's just making timely play after timely play. And so we've got good contributions up and down the roster. Even the guys off the bench that didn't score much play with a lot of presence and a lot of purpose.
Ask about one of those other guys, Aaron, obviously coming off the ankle, goes for 16, hits a couple big threes to get it started. I think he's plus 20, on the floor for you tonight. Just how important was he being able to, overcome that and play? It seemed like it didn't even affect him.
Yeah, I was really concerned after Game 3 what today was going to feel like for him. He got a lot of treatment yesterday. Fortunately, we didn't have to travel. You get in a plane with an ankle and the thing, has a tendency to blow up. But he's done a lot of treatment. He's got all kinds of electronic devices hooked up to him. I know his mom's in town helping him with ice and stuff like that. And he was determined to be in this game. Very meaningful that he was able to do it. And hopefully he can bounce back from tonight. And one of the reasons I wanted to get him out in the last minute, I just don't want somebody to step on a foot or something like that, or walk by a referee, and you just don't know. But he'll work hard to stay ready, and we'll see where we are, whatever day it is, Thursday.
Rick, just going back to Tyrese again, just among all the numbers he put up, to have 0 turnovers, the pace he plays, all the things he does for you guys, he's obviously a low turnover guy always, but what just allows him to operate so much with the ball, do all these things, and really just not cough it up like that?
Yeah, he was really throwing the ball ahead tonight too, which was really important for us. And to not have any turnovers in any of those situations too is pretty remarkable. But this has become his thing, and there will be a new statistical category, perhaps named after him somewhere down the line. Him and Chris Paul, these guys, there aren't a lot of guys. I know Stockton didn't turn it over much back when he played. There are others. LeBron James didn't turn it over very much. You can go right down the line, some of the all-time greats. And so I know he takes great pride in it. And that's a motivating factor.
Rick, I remember you said when Benedict got drafted here, when he worked out here during the draft, he came back that night for another workout. What have you learned about the young man from that point till now, about the work he puts into his game and just, like you said, kind of staying ready and staying in the gym?
Yeah, he's a confident young man, and he's tough. He's legitimately tough. In a tough playoff series against a tough opponent like this, he fits into this. In games this year where you're playing against physical opponents and it becomes a ratty game, he goes in there and he's gonna come out of there with 15 points and 7 free throws, and stuff like that. So, but this is a great moment for him. But he can't exhale. Can't exhale. In the playoffs, I heard Steve Nash say this one time years ago. When you win, it feels like you're never going to lose again, and when you lose, it feels like you're never going to win again. And those are the emotions, and that's why each of these games looks and feels and is so different.
Rick, you had mentioned, you said there's all these different statistical things with Tyrese, but it's about the team, the collective. How important is it that Tyrese's style of play feeds so directly into that collective style? It's low touch time, it's high pass, it's high assist. Does that make it easier to build the kind of culture that you guys have here?
It does. But I'm just really tired about talking about individual stats this time of year. It's just not. It just flies in the face of what's necessary. I had a radio show this morning, and somebody asked me about Ben Matherin's numbers. This is a team game. It's not about the numbers. It's about being ready. And a lot of times defining plays in the playoffs have nothing to do with statistical things. They're loose ball plays. They're charges taken, stuff like that. Celebrate that. Talk about that. Those are the kinds of things that are truly important. So, look, Tyrese is a great player, and I think people realize that. He happens to do some very impressive statistical things, but he's well aware that all of this far transcends statistics.
All right. Ty, you obviously talked in here the other night that, you were expecting to watch the film and see that there was going to be a lot of ways you could push the pace. Certainly seemed like you did that right out of the gate today. Just what did you kind of see in terms of opportunities that were going to be there, and what did you like about how you guys were able to create pace and get running and get started?
Yeah, I felt like in the fourth quarter last game we were a little bit more reactive than proactive. They got some guys who can just make some hellacious shots, and Kat and JB did that last game, and I felt like those were kind of like, taking the air out of us. We were, kind of sighing after everyone and walking the ball up. Today, we were just trying to keep focused on who cares. Let's get it in and let's run, go right back at them. They're going to make shots. Let's just keep going. So I thought we did a great job of just playing our way, the whole game, keeping pace in the game and just playing pacer basketball. So I thought we responded really well, which we've proven that we do after tough losses really all year, and especially in these playoffs. So really proud of our effort as a group. And I got to watch this film, see where we can get better. I think there's still ways for us to get better. Again, they made some hellacious shots again today. OG made a big sidestep there on that left wing. Mikal made some big shots. Like, when you play these guys, the game ain't over until it hits 0. So I thought we did a great job staying with it. And we should watch film, see where we can get better, and get ready for Game 5.
So obviously Rick was just saying he doesn't want to talk too much about individual statistics, but 32, 15, 12, 4 steals and 0 turnovers. What makes you guys proud of just the completeness, I guess, of that game? What stands out to you about how you were able to put it all together on both ends?
Yeah, I was just trying to be aggressive, man. Just trying to play my best. I felt like I let the team down in Game 3. Felt like I could have been so much better. So I felt like I responded the right way today. Just trying to be aggressive, take what the defense gives me. I felt like I was a little jittery, playing too fast. So just trying to calm myself down, especially in the half court and isolations and stuff. Trying to, just settle down, and then just trying to find guys and just play the right way. Coach is always on me to rebound. Everybody's on me to rebound. So just trying to step up there, be the best I could. And, everybody's, boxing their guy out, especially Mitch Robinson, Josh Hart. I got so many guys who just crash the glass like crazy, And I'm just trying to come in and clean it up. And I thought I did a decent job at that. But, still a lot of ways for me to get better and us to get better as a group. So none of that's possible without, full team effort.
About one guy, Ben Matherin, obviously comes up with 20.
Yeah.
Making a lot of the shots, it seems like you guys want him to make, making the passes you want him to make as well. Just what did you like about his overall approach, how he kind of got past a couple tough games to start this series, and basically gave you the kind of offensive performance you guys wanted from him?
Yeah, I think he settled in. I think obviously this has been, he hasn't probably played the way he wants to this series. And we knew it would just take him to see one go in, and he made the mid-range jumper right as soon as he got in the game for me there in the first quarter. Then had a kill cut, made a reverse layup, just had to see the ball go in. And obviously he's a guy that, we've preached, we really missed last year in the playoffs, that spark off the bench. And a guy like that comes in, gets 11 free throws, really aggressive for us, especially, in his minutes, just playing the best to his ability. And I think, coming in today, we didn't know what was going to be needed from him with Aaron's status. And I thought he did a great job of just responding, playing a great overall game. And, really proud of him tonight. And, we just got to keep it going.
Ty, if you could remove the numbers from it, where did that feel among the best games you've ever played? And what did it mean to do that with your dad back in the building?
Yeah, I'll look at that later and reflect on that at a different time. But I think for me, it's just about winning. I think I just want to be able to prove that I can respond when my back's against the wall, when our team's back is against the wall, and this is a big win for us because if we go back down there 2-2, it's probably a little different momentum-wise. So I felt like we responded the right way. I'm just really proud of our effort as a group, just trying to play the right way, and I felt like we did that for 48 minutes, and that's why we came away with the win. And you can feel good about it for the night. But then you got to be ready to go for Game 5 because their backs are against the wall. They're going to play as desperate as they can, as they should. They're going to come out and throw a punch and throw more punches, and we just got to be able to respond to those. So I'm really proud of our effort, and got to be ready to go next game.
Ty, according to some of the research people are doing, the most assists ever in a finals game, conference finals, without a turnover, and also the most combination points, rebounds, assists, steals with no turnovers in a game ever, ever. What is that? Did you know that? And what is that like to do that?
I didn't know that. I feel like we making up stats at some point to make me look better. But I think I'm just trying to play the right way, man. I just want to impact winning. I told you guys that for the last 2 years. I think after my third year and getting the big contract and now having to step into a new role, I think for me it was about how can I impact winning. And I'm just trying to do that to the best of my ability. We're building something special here. We're having a lot of fun with what we're doing. And, I feel like I'm at the forefront of that along with, a lot of these guys. So I'm just trying to play the right way and play the best of my ability. That's what it's about, and I feel like I did a good job today. But, man, I feel like there's so many different opportunities for me to get better and for us as a group to get better and play better. So we'll take what we can from this game and just be ready to go for Game 5.
Joe, then James.
Okay. Hey, Tyrese. I know you said to TNT that having your dad back in the building had something to do with the big game tonight, but you guys blew through Cleveland, and then you're having a great series, this one. I'm wondering if what went on with him, if that was tough for you, and just if there were some emotions about having him back in here tonight.
Emotions, no. I'm going to be honest with you guys here. Like, my dad is just fine. Like, he lives just fine. He's at the house watching the game in a beautiful home, or he's finds his way in some sports bar with a bunch of Pacer fans. My dad is doing just fine. I think there was obviously a lot of commentary around him, especially right after, which I think some was warranted. Some went a little too far, but that's just sports. That's just sports, and that's just talking heads. What can you really do? But I don't think there's really any emotion to it. I just wanted to put on a good performance. I wanted to win the game. Obviously my dad being here is special. But growing up, like, my dad was reffing a lot on the weekend, so he didn't get to come to many of my games growing up. So when he would come to my game, I would want to play well. So with him being in the building, of course I wanted to play well. But we ain't gonna. I know we're saying free Pops and Pops is free, but he was not in jail. He happened to be in a very beautiful home, sitting very pretty watching NBA basketball. He's just fine. So, I was happy he was in the building. Obviously, Triple H is in the building. That might have been a little, I ain't going to say it was more special, but Triple H being in the building was pretty fire too. And just obviously the excitement in the city, seeing all the former players coming out. G. Hill, who played with me for a little bit. Danny Granger, he said it was like his first time back in Indy. That's special. That's special for me. J.O. in the building. Obviously, Reggie on commentary. It's special. And when you're winning, you can get people out the house to come watch you and support you, So that's really exciting. And it's an exciting time to be a Pacer fan and be a Pacer alumni. And we're just trying to, keep playing the right way and, playing the right way for our fans. I like the hat too, Joe. The hat's nice, man. Yeah, it's a nice hat.
Ty,
nice.
Ty, you mentioned having some of the Pacer alum coming to the game. You had a steal, I believe, like the third quarter. You get up, you dap George Hill.
Yeah.
What does it mean to kind of be like that tether between what was old and what's now?
Yeah, I think I see G. Hill as kind of like one of my vets. He was here with me for a little bit, and we do have constant conversation to this day. But you see Lance in the building, Steven Jackson was here the other day, Al Harrington, Roy Hibbert, DG, Reggie. All these guys are guys who, I've grown up watching, and so, when I got traded to the Pacers or just being a basketball fan, you think about all the guys who come before you, and they've, tried to help put this organization in a better place, and they found it, and that's what I'm trying to do as well. And I know that might be cliche or might be weird because it's professional sports. It's professional sports. It's not college where it's the NBA. It's a business, right? But I do think the alumni being here is really special. I think that's really cool to see throughout our league. You see it there in New York as well with all their guys. So it's really cool because I think it's just basketball fans and just fans of the game. You want to see those guys come back, and it means a lot that we were able as a group to get DG out the house. I got to meet his kids. Jo was in the building. Just many guys who have come before me, and to get to put on that performance in front of them is special. And I think when you're winning, everybody wants to come out the house and be a part of it. So it's very special and it's a lot of fun for me.
To the no turnovers again, and obviously you've been a low turnover player. And Rick said you kind of just take pride in that. Just how much pride do you take in that, and just kind of when you operate with the ball as fast as you guys are playing, what does it take for you to not turn the ball over ever, really?
Yeah, just trying to make the right play, man. I think my game is a little unorthodox. I jump to pass probably more than anybody in the NBA. But I work on that stuff. That's how I've worked my whole life to play the game. So I take pride and take care of the ball. I feel like the more we take care of the ball as a team, the more opportunities we get to shoot the ball. I feel like the more shots we get in a game, the better opportunity we have to win. So I take pride in that. I'd rather do really anything else on a basketball court than turn the ball over. But there's some games that are good. There's some games that are bad. But I'm just trying to play the right way. And in a time like right now, I don't have time to second guess my game or anything. All that's out the window. It's about winning. And I feel like if I can take care of the ball, I put us in the best situation to win. And I feel like I did a good job of that today. But still, I feel like there's a lot of room for me to improve on my performance tonight. Really, us as a group, we feel like we played well. Got a big win, but we know there's a lot for us to get better at. And so we got to be ready to go Game 5. They're going to come out, a lot of energy. Energy in the building is going to be a lot of fun, and we got to be ready to go.
Pascal, you guys were unhappy with your second half of that Game 3, the pace you guys played with. What did you feel like was important in getting that switched, and how do you feel like you guys executed those changes you made?
It's just the second half just wasn't to our standards, and I think we just came back with just more energy. Playing pacer basketball, and we know that we'll give ourselves a chance every single night if we play that way. So we just thought we didn't do that well last game.
You've seen a bunch of exceptional Tyrese games. What'd you make of literally everything that he did for you guys today?
Yeah, he was everywhere. Getting steals, and damn, it's 4 steals. Assists, rebounds. He stole a lot of my rebounds, but I let that go. But he's amazing. When he's playing that way, and just the pace and getting us in position, and then also being aggressive, just finding that balance of doing both. We know he's a pass first kind of guy, but he also was able to get us big buckets whenever we need them. I just love the way he played tonight. His energy on both ends of the floor, and also he didn't turn the ball over. That's amazing, man.
To kind of stick on that, what was he able to find that he wasn't able to find last game in terms of being and pushing the pace and looking for opportunities?
I just thought he was free out there, just playing with pace, not slowing down whatsoever, just being in attack mode the whole game, and for him, which makes him special, is attack mode is not just scoring, it's getting us in position, just bringing the pace, playing the way that we want to play, and also him just being in control of the game.
I can tell you we're pretty proud of Benedict Mathurin today, especially the one pass he had. Just what stood out to you about what he did? It seemed like he was giving you what you guys have asked him.
Yeah. He's a big part of why we won today. I think he's been having a tough go, just maybe not getting minutes or whatever, and whatever is happening, I just thought his resiliency and the way he came out, just so aggressive, and he was huge for us. Just playing defense, he looked free out there, just playing the way that Ben does, and I just love his energy overall, and the force he played with, and when he plays that way, he's so tough, man. He's so tough to guard. It's tough to stay in front of, and I'm just happy for him. I'm happy for him because I know that he cares so much about the game, and he cares about getting better and wanting to be a part of our success. And obviously he didn't play last year in the playoff. I think this is a big game. I think 12 minutes, like 20 points, and the points is one thing, but I just thought the way he played the game and how aggressive he was, he's a big part of who we are and why we're successful this year. And I was just so happy for him to see him just get into the flow of the game and in limited minutes being able to have that much impact in the game was amazing.
At times, over here, Pascal. At times, at the beginning of the first half, you guys were double teaming Cat a little bit more. What did you think about the adjustment to just make it more difficult for him with those double teams and just showing him different looks? Yeah,
we know he's gifted offensively and he can shoot, he can drive. So it's a team effort. He's a tough cover and we just gotta continue to just make it hard, make it tough for him. He's really gifted offensively.
Pascal, everybody this time of year is playing with something. Nobody's healthy. You've had to play in the playoffs with injuries before. I just wonder what the mentality is when you're not 100%, but you got to shoot, you got to strap up anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, you said it all. It's at this point, it's everyone got something going on, and it doesn't really matter at that point. I just think that everyone just want to win. You just go out there, put your body on the line for your teammates. Shout out Double A, just coming in, playing the way that he did. And he was questionable or whatever, but he's a warrior for sure. He goes out there, gives it his all, and you need guys like that on your team.
I know that he splashed a couple of shots early, but when you see him step in and take a charge as well, is it even more wow, he's really good?
Yeah, he does everything. To be honest, he does everything for us. Both ends of the floor, he guards the best player, him, Drew. They have crazy tags every single game, and those guys step up, and they do it with the best of them, and Double A just he does everything for us. He can knock down the shot, he can rebound, he's gonna come in there, take a charge, he's gonna go against the big guys, try to dunk it, he does everything.
Pascal, back here. Rick was talking about, it's not so much about the individual stats with Tyrese, it's about the collective impact. You come into this team and you sort of get a fresh lens on what he is as the leader of it. What does it do for the spirit of the team that the main guy is so distributive, is so collective in the way he approaches it? How does that lift you guys up?
He's a point guard. He runs our team. So I think we follow his lead. When he brings the ball up, the pace he brings it with, and just the way he plays, that makes our team go. So I just enjoy being a part of playing with him, and just knowing that he cares about putting us all in position to be successful, and that's what makes him special.
Pascal, I apologize if you've touched on this already, but do you ever see him get tired, the way he plays and how he competes?
Nah, I mean, I don't know. I ain't never seen that. So he's a tough guy, man, and he does it every single night. So sometimes he might hit 8 threes. Sometimes he might just be out there and just play defense and plays his butt off all night.
I feel like we've asked about everybody but yourself. You had 30 tonight, obviously. I mean, just what?
Yeah, you ain't got to ask about myself, man. It's all about my team.
I know. No, I mean, just what kind of worked for you tonight in terms of getting some opportunities, getting some shots basically, and getting some post ups and.
Yeah, just taking what the defense gave us, and again, trying to be aggressive and I know there's the playoff is a big moment for everyone after the game. Look at the box score and everyone is running to that oh, how many points this person scored or what. That's not us. So it's gonna be different people, different nights, and it's been that for the whole year, and that's all we really cared about. Every time we come in here and if we have a W, I'm good. I'm sleeping well. So that's my mindset going into this, and that's been the mindset of our team, and it's going to continue to be like that, for us to be successful. So, it's not a me thing, it's an us thing, and I'm just glad to be able to help.